Hi everyone, I'm Rishabh. In this video, I'll talk about two projects. One that I consider one of the best projects I have done, and the one which has taught me a lot. Okay, so the project which has taught me a lot was the first project of mine, the blog posting. And the best project I have done is online e-commerce, a liquor shop. Okay, so first I will go through the liquor shop and then I will go through the blog posting. So in the liquor shop project, I will talk about the objective, the problems I have faced, and why do I consider it the best. And then after that, I will go through the blog posting ones. So let's get started. As you can see, it is the liquor shop project of the views.py. Now here I have one app, one project called e-commerce. Now inside that project, I have two apps which has products and account. Now products handle all the technical products things and account handles the user things. Now I will go to the website, the web app. The web app looks kind of like this, and here you can see the different functions, sign up, login, those things. So now I will just give you a brief idea because I'm assuming you have already seen the video of me explaining the functions of the web app. So in this video, I will mostly talk about the objectives and the problems. Now, as being an e-commerce web app, the main objective was for me, to add the products, and then in every product, there are certain functions like it will show the category, the ratings, the price, the description, also the count for you to add. Now the review settings and to show similar products now and the other tests. Here I am showing the similar products on the list of the category. If you are buying a rum, it will show you rums, and the other tests are showing the other category drinks. So if you are buying a rum, it will show you everything except the rum. Fine. So for that, first I will jump into the code. So let's go to the code. Yeah. So one thing, uh, every Django thing I will just talk from the basic. So first it goes, let's go to the URL part. This is the default urls.py. So how does it work? My bad. This is the default urls.py. So how does it work? Anytime when you click on something, or if you hover on something, let's say here, you can see at the bottom it is showing me the address it is gonna go in. So whenever this address or any address comes in, it checks with the patterns and then it goes accordingly. Like suppose if there is with the Django by default 8000 port and there is nothing else after that, it will include to the product.urls. So then it will go jump to the product app and then the urls.py of that particular app. Same goes for account. Fine. So when it will go to the products urls.py, it will again try to match with whatever the patterns you had. Fine. So and then if it gets matched with another pattern, let's say it is getting product slash id. So suppose I am clicking on here, it says slash product slash 9. Like actually int is a converter. You can use other converters too, like slug. It all depends, all boils down to how you use it. In my other project I will use slug. I have used slug, so I will show you that also. So when it gets matched with an URL, it asks that okay fine, I've got a URL. Now it will redirect you that yeah, so you should go to this view. Now why I'm using as view, because here most of the views I have used, they're all class based views. Fine. So it will ask fine. So the URL got matched. Now get, you can go to this view. So it will come to this view. Now in this view you will have many things, like suppose you will have a model, you will have a query set, template name. It if it's a detail view, you will have the PK. Now you suppose the context data is something that when you will render the template which has been mentioned in the view, what are the data you want to pass? So by default you can pass any data, but if you want to override it, you have to use the get context data function, and you can override it as you want and pass as many as data you want. Fine. So the views, they only expect ki fine, you have come all this way, and so here's the model, here's the thing, get the data and render it in this particular template. So when I click on any particular product, it renders the template and get the data from database and show it accordingly. Fine. Now here database we are using the SQLite to explain some things like suppose detail view is a single object mixing, so that's why we have to use the pkg and there are some template views also. We use template view only when there is it's just only for rendering and template. There is no function above that, like you can take for the about us. There is nothing to click on or action. It's just a showing template. And then if you want there are add to cart. So these things, what does it do? It functions in many ways. Like suppose it checks whether you are authenticated or not. If you are authenticated, the function will be different. If you are not, the function will be different. Fine. So it all boils down to this. So suppose if you add to cart and then if you try to if you go to cart and you want to process to check out, it will ask you for login. So these functions has been done in the add to cart view. Fine. So what did I do? I checked whether the user is authenticated or not. If yes, it will go to certain functions like cart, CIM, IDs. So for that, I have an ER diagram. You can show that how the add to cart function is, the add to cart models are related with each other, and then it will go through every ID things. And so when you are not logged in, it is actually storing your cart data and like the product data and the volume, like how many bottles you're buying. It's storing in the session. We are using session framework for that. And when the moment you log in, so suppose if I log in with just Eagle, and what will it do? It will extract the data from session framework and add it to your database. Like as you can see, your order has been placed. It's a success page. For that, it is also a template view, and continue shopping. Now, if you click on your profile, the rendering thing is same. It will give you options, and here you can see the orders. For that, I'm also using a detail view, and for that there are different models in models.py. Yes, it's a generic view for order view. And for order item view, like if you want to like in order view, you will get only the orders names and the total price. If you want to get the order item view, so you have to click on see details. It will show you what are the orders you have bought, like what are the things were there, and quantity price for every product. Looks good, right? So yes, and it will automatically delete the items in cart, like it will empty the cart. Fine. Now there are review, comment, and those things, and definitely we have used login required decorator because we don't want an unknown user to put a review. So you can write reviews here, ratings here. You can see the ratings here too. Suppose just let me write one. As you can see. Now there are things like for the login part in the account, you can see for the models. Okay, here we are creating our own user model, but we are inheriting it from the abstract user. And here we have to mention some required fields. By default, first name and last name are they do follow into required fields, so we don't even have to mention it. And those are things. Admin panel is mentioned accordingly, and same for views.py. These are like normal things, and we are passing mixins because export login required mixing. It will check whether if the user wants to delete his or her profile, so he or she has to be logged in. Same goes for user update. He or she has to log in. Now user passes test mixing work. It's an object level validation. So suppose if I have an account, there is only me who can update the account, not any other person. So it will check whether that particular person, he or she is the same person or not, like user is equals to request user or not. So these are the couple of things for the safety. So so the objective was to create a website, a web app where people can buy and do things like a liquor shop. And the difficulty I faced because there are a lot of things. Fine, just because the session framework was very new to me, and to like when the person is not logged in to store the data in session and then get the data from session to the database, that was a hectic job, to be honest. So yes, that was some difficulties, but yes, to overcome those difficulties, it was very what can I say, delightful. And as you can see in the description, they are also written by me. So it was fun to write things. If you click on the category, it will lead you the category. So yeah, that's how things work. Okay, so yeah, let's come to the project which have taught me a lot. And here I'm going to the blog posting view. So first let me close the other one. Yeah, it's on now. Okay, so it is just a simple blog web app. Now, why I consider that it has taught me a lot, because this was my first Django app. So all the functions I have done, I had to go through again and again for the basics and the concepts, but definitely I took the challenge and I solved it. So here you can see there are different functions. The blogs are being rendered in the homepage as a form of cards. So for cards, I have models. Let me just show you that. Yes. Yeah, actually, here also we have two apps: the blog and the account. The blog app, it takes care of all the blog things, like all the blogs they have written, those parts, and the account app, it takes care of the user. Now in the blog, in the models, you can see I have different models, like model for post, model for categories. Also, the underscore HTML things is there just because when you call an object it shows the title. We have to override the save method and also the get absolute URL, those things. Fine. And yeah, so that in admin panel we see the proper names. For that also we have to configure the meta class meta. In signals also we have used some. Let me just show you that. Yes. So that was also a new thing for me, because what we wanted, because we have different type of user. Like there was an anonymous user, which I am quite now rightly, I guess. Yes, I am not logged in, and there are a user who is in reader view, and there are a user who are the author, like who can write blogs. So there are different conditions for that, and by default, when someone signs up, he or she is added in the group of reader. So there are things we have an option in the profile page. We gave a user an option that he or she can change it. Like let me just show you that. Mm, okay, he's not logged in. Just a second. Yeah. So if you click on here, you can see update account details. You have an option to choose yourself to know author or trader. Fine. If you click on home screen, if you click on any card, it will enter the blog. It will show you the author, the last updated time and date. We have different fields for that in models. Yeah, date and time. And here we are using slug. So as you can see, we are using slug. So by default, it blanks to unique to. So if you are thinking we are not playing a slug, so that's why we have to override the method. So the moment it will get set, it will create a slug like slugify, and then it will save thing. And the form, like whenever someone wants to write something, so for that we have forms, a post create form, and we have different validation there with different validation. And for that clean title, like it had to be a unique title, and that's how we are actually generating the slug. Okay, we have the image size, that the image size should be less than 3 MB, those things. So those validation are done in the form level validation. And if I go for the account model, things are pretty much same for the last thing. Like we are using the user, which has been inherited from the abstract user, and there are some required fields and things. So it was a very important project for me, because it was the first one. So I had to do it very neat and clean, and as you can see, there are things I have implemented. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.